So I just wanted to overwhelm my fear. So I just reading lots of articles, I couldn't overwhelm. So I thought maybe just by putting myself in a real situation, I would, it was good. I could overcome my phobia, I could touch, I could write, it was really good. So now I don't have any, I can't say completely, but not like before. I'm not scared like before because I couldn't touch any dog, any cat, any animal, any kind of animal because I had bad experience in my childhood because of touching cats, especially cats. So now it's better.
That shows you something about the way your mind works, that it doesn't forget. Your conscious mind may forget certain experiences and information that you had been exposed to.
Unconscious mind.
Certainly, this mind is just like a recording mechanism. Even when we're asleep, all the experiences that we've had, even when we're in a dream, that is all recorded. This is like a recording machine, 24 hours. Whether we are in wakefulness or whether we're in sleep, anyway it records. That's why this mind it's really such a delicate thing. That it's not only about your conscious mind. If we really investigate into it, you think about, this is tremendous. The amount of time we're spending in life, either in dream or dreamless sleep. What is that? We're sleeping 8 hours a day, right? 8 hours a day, average lifespan is about 75 years. We are sleeping about 1/3 of it off. So that means in a 75-year lifespan, you are either in a state of dream or dreamless sleep for 25 years. As if you're living a double life, actually. Another shadow life that you're totally unaware of. Rarely do we even consider that, perhaps because of maybe a nightmare that we had experienced in a dream, that when you come back to your waking state, still the influence of it continues. You may have the impressions of that nightmare still hanging around somewhere in the background of your mind, and rarely do you even suspect that it might be just because of a dream.
Is there any way to delete bad moments of the past from unconscious by yoga?
There are methods, systematic methods for that. One method specifically, it's a special kind of meditation which is called hridayakasha dharana, which there's a number of different steps involved in this kind of meditation, but basically it involves a recollection of past memories. And you do it systematically. You try to move as far back in time as possible to the earliest memories that you can recall. And your memory is not always 100% perfect, right? Many times we remember things which we've changed the reality, we've distorted it according to our interpretation. That is not so relevant, because even if your memory is playing tricks on you, still it has that kind of influence. That's the thing about this mind. Whether something is real or imagined, this brain does not make the distinction. It's a bit like, suppose you're in the dream, you're imagining you're being chased by the lion. And even though there's no lion in your room, still your mind and body produced all the responses, as if you were being chased by the lion. Because that's how this mind is. Whether it's real or imaginary, this mind does not make a distinction. Anyway, it still has an effect. So the idea is, however you remember these experiences, you try to go back as far back in time, and you're learning to witness the memory at a distance, watching your mental reactions, your emotional reactions. For that, you have to cultivate this quality of just creating a little bit of distance between your witness intelligence, your attention, and the actual experience of that memory. And what you've mentioned is actually very important, because our traumas in life, in actuality, they've started very early on in life. Can anybody guess what is the time of life when the child is sensitive to his environment?
I think even when it's in
the mother's womb.
Yeah.
All the way back in the mother's womb.
Yeah.
Scientists know now that the child, by 6 months' time, he's capable of thought. And they've studied the cries of newborn children, and they've analyzed their cries. And they found that the sounds that they make resemble very closely patterns in the mother's speech. That means that even when the child is in the womb, he is highly sensitive to his environment. So this is why in India especially, tremendous elaborate care was taken about when a woman would be pregnant, how she should keep herself. What kind of environment would she be in? She wouldn't be allowed to talk to any sort of characters which would create unpleasant reactions within her, because they knew this very well, that you might be traumatized even before birth from the womb. And then there's the actual experience of birth, which for most people is a traumatic experience. Unless you're born very calmly and peacefully, which rarely does happen, otherwise everybody in the world is born in a state of suffering and crying. And so even those sort of experiences still have an impression, even till today, because this mind doesn't forget. That's why it's highly important that one learns to become more conscious of your own mind. And the best way to begin is by what's most accessible to you, which is the conscious mind.